We're
Hey,
live.
welcome to another scene in World of Darkness House of Cards, a cross-venue World of Darkness game set in Hong Kong. Today's scene is going to be a scene for the vampire venue. The Blue Bloods of Clan Ventru have needed to meet up for quite some time now, and so the Primogen, a Timothy Cuthbert, has called the Venture in the city, as few of them as there are. He's calling them in for a bit of a meeting where everyone will be meeting is Brett, what's the most expensive restaurant in Hong Kong?
It's actually never been stated, probably because it got more than likely got blown up at one point. So we'll go with the most expensive place where you could get a personal private table would be
He's not getting a table, he's renting out the whole damn restaurant.
okay. We'll go with the top restaurant of the Four Seasons on the wharf.
Okay,
I mean, this place, just so you know, this place is so expensive that they hire their own personal security forces that were formerly members of Black Watch.
Okay, all good. That's happening. And what is everyone doing as they are responding to the call? And in other words, what's Satoshi doing?
Like we're heading there, or are you asking like how is he replying to the message?
I mean, if he doesn't go, then this is a very short scene.
Oh no, he is. Like, I was like, no, I'm curious if you're saying like what is he doing like as he's walking into the restaurant, or is he replying to like the message saying that Cutbirth sent out to all the Ventru saying this is where we're meeting for a talk, or
I mean, I'm assuming he's gotten it and accepted it, and he's on his way.
okay. Then yeah, he's on his way. Dressed up and everything, and wearing his most expensive suit and whatnot. Fill up by his resources up is not all that expensive.
Yeah, how high is your resources, by the way?
It's only 3. I've been needing to buy it up for months now, but I don't know if
it's okay. You're still technically baby. You're still technically baby Ventru. The way that you can build up your resources, we can talk about after the scene's over.
Even the peasants of nobility are still nobility compared to peasants. It's fine.
I don't want to be a baby Ventru anymore.
Anyway, so this is the most expensive restaurant in the entire city. You don't park your own car here.
Obviously.
When you come up, a valet will happily relieve you of your keys and go ahead and park your car and all that. Four Seasons an actual place, Brett?
I don't know. I just thought of, like, there are actual Four Seasons hotels throughout the world. I figured there'd be one in Hong Kong.
Okay, then I'm just going to describe a fucking nice-ass hotel.
It's like, think of the Ritz-Carlton and then think of something with more class.
Yeah. People are opening doors for you, and this seems to be their only job. As you walk in, one of the receptionists at the front, they will stop you and they will say, Oh, I'm terribly sorry, but the entire place has been rented out for the night. I apologize for any inconvenience.
Satoshi will smile. Did they send out like any invitations or say, this is what you're supposed to say to get in or anything like that?
There's a guest list
Okay.
that lists any name that you so want. So just in case there's someone that doesn't want the real name out there.
Okay, nah, he probably would have been fine with his name. So he'll just say, I should be on the guest list?
Oh, can I get your name, please, sir?
Hironori Satoshi.
And the man will look at his guest list and say, yes, I do have you. Someone will take you to the quickest route to whatever it is you have planned, then. You have a good night.
Thank you. You as well.
Yep. And people are going to lead you to one of the elevators. It stands to mention that this elevator, as you go inside, as he leads you inside and, gets you to, well, it's taking you to the top floor. He kind of hits the buttons and kind of steps out since Cuthbert requested absolute privacy. Hey, Satoshi, you know how you have, resources 3?
Yeah.
You need resources 2 to afford the elevator.
Little baby venture sniffles.
Yeah. You are treated to very nice elevator music as you go up that you realize is not pre-recorded elevator music. This is an actual fucking live band playing and being broadcast in crystal clear quality. And damn, do they sound good. Just assume they have 5 successes to perform.
Damn.
So as you go up and go up and go up, the door will finally open, leading you directly into the uppermost floor, the penthouse, as it were. You can see the entirety of the city and its skyline off in the distance. And Alice and Timothy are already there. It's up to Brett if his NPCs are already there.
I've only got one NPC. We'll say that Lutrice will be the last one to arrive, as is expected from somebody of his station.
Okay. Once Satoshi gets there, Timothy will look to him. That's so weird having someone with the same first name as me. Timothy will look to him. He will say, Mr. Hironori, it's good to have you tonight.
It was a pleasure to be invited, Mr. Cutbirth. Thank you.
Alice will, as a bit of a contrast to Timothy, actually stand up and walk up to Satoshi and extend her hand to him and say, I echo the words of my brother.
Just out of curiosity, Tim, is Alice carrying the iPad and does she have the earpiece in her ear?
She has a smartwatch. However, considering this is an official meeting, she's not going full regalia. She's not Keeper of Elysium right now.
Gotcha. She probably would have left one of her ghouls in charge of maintaining the Elysium with the threat of total exsanguination if he fails.
Yeah, she has also added the caveat of she does not need to be there for Elysium rules to be maintained, and anyone that breaks them will be summarily found, even if they are no longer in Elysium.
Very true to Alicia, to Alice's style. So very good. All right, so probably about 10 minutes after Hironori would arrive, if you guys are going to do any talking until then, just let me know, because otherwise I can have Latrice show up.
Okay. Alice will smile to Hironori. It's a very, very soft smile, and she'll say, "Please, Mr. Hironori, sit down."
He'll nod his head and yeah, he'll sit down. And then he'll say,
Oh, sorry.
"Oh, my bad.
About a character.
I wasn't gonna say much. You go ahead."
Okay.
Oh shit.
Timothy will look to Hironori as he sits down, and he will say, "So it is lamentable that I do not get to keep up with my clanmates as often as I should. How has the city been treating you? I know that the situation is less than optimal, and that we've all had to adjust to things."
Indeed. To answer your question, I've been treated fairly in this city, and it is understandable that we have not been able to meet up as much as usual. We are all busy people.
But of course,
Would they have been told what this meeting was for, or was it just like, yo, show up here?
no, you have not been told what this meeting is for.
Does he know, so since this is all the Ventru are being invited into the city, would he know that they are waiting on Father Lutrice? Because I'm assuming they...
Absolutely, yes, you would.
Okay. Then he will...
If you have even a dot in etiquette, you would realize that considering Father Latrice has the highest status out of all of them, he would, in fact, it would be very, very poor form to start without him.
Yeah.
Highest status of all of them. Highest position in the clan of all of them. Highest position in the Camarilla of all of them.
Yeah, like, honestly, deferring to Cuthbert is a matter of formality.
Okay. Then he will just say, no. Sorry, I take that back. He wouldn't say that, so never mind. I'll just sit there and, you know, quietly nod along and probably make some polite, idle conversation.
As a bit of description, Timothy does not seem too interested in small talk. Like, he can engage in it, and he's quite friendly, but he seems much more focused on something else at the moment. Alice seems to actually engage you, however, and whether she's simply feigning interest or whether she's actually interested, you're not quite sure. But it's something to fill the rather awkward air at the moment, which you can feel.
Yeah. And that was kind of the reason why he was making the small talk as well. He's not too, you know. Yeah.
Okay, after a decent amount of time has passed, the elevator doors will open up and Father Latrice will walk out wearing the customary combat robes of a member of the Order of St. Michael. Actually, scratch that. He knows this is an official meeting. He will actually be wearing the traditional robes of a bishop. without the hat, without the drapery, just the simple everyday robes of a bishop.
Okay.
And he will walk forward and place a bow. Anybody in here who is below humanity 5 is uncomfortable because he is radiating true faith.
Is it 5 and under?
5 and under, yeah.
Just uncomfortable, nothing really crazy.
If you're over 5, it's like a. If you're under 5, it's ow. You are weird.
What if it's 5 on the dot?
5 on the dot would be. You would probably take steps away from him.
Okay. I'm just. I don't know what. I forget what their humanity scores are. However, considering they are, I'm putting them at least at 5.
Okay. Wasn't there a humanity score listed for them?
There is a humanity score.
Let me see. I'm on that page I'm running up right now.
Yeah, I do need.
It wouldn't surprise me if that got left out.
Okay.
Humanity 6 for Alice.
And where is he?
They're both humanity 6, so they're not exactly stepping away from him, but they know that it's something they cannot be comfortable around.
Yeah. It is not going to stop them, however. When Father Latrice walks in, they will both rise, approach Father Latrice as close as they can, while still, 1, maintaining personal space, and 2, maintaining their personal space from that fuck you aura.
Yeah.
And they will both kneel to him.
Father Latrice will hold. Oh, but I need to give Hironori a chance to react as well. Sorry.
Oh yeah, he can react however he wishes.
He will follow their lead.
Okay.
He will spread his hands and lift them up and say, "Please rise, soldiers of Ventru. You are, of course, graced by my presence, but we are all of the same blood."
Timothy will stand first. After Timothy is properly stood, then Alice will rise.
And then Satoshi will rise.
Out of character, what is the proper honorific for a bishop in the, I assume, Catholic Church?
Would be father or bishop.
Okay, just father and bishop.
If you are actually Catholic and you want to go formal, you can say your grace.
Neither of them are Catholic.
Yeah. So just calling him father would be fine.
All right. Timothy will say, "Good evening, Father. Thank you. I humbly appreciate you taking the time out of your night to be with us at a time in which our clan needs to come together."
He'll nod his head. It is fortunate that I am not needed to hunt demons anymore in this city. Only their foul worshippers.
Well, Father, an enemy is an enemy, regardless of its power.
He'll nod his head. Regardless, I am here as a member of the clan. You need not call me father. Sir will do. And he will then promptly turn and take a seat at at the table that's been designated for the meeting.
Okay.
Oh, you will notice that he is carrying something in a black sword case, and he'll set it down. You should all have the requisite Ventry clan lore to know that at certain ranks amongst the clan, you are given a sword as your symbol of status.
All right. I figure both Alice and Timothy have one then.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a singular style?
Each ranking above a certain level is granted a different style. God, I cannot remember. It's been so long since I've actually run a directorate meeting. but it will typically reflect the personality of the wielder, as each one is handcrafted.
Okay.
Not it's more along the lines of something that you're given as proven of worth of as a not just a soldier of Clan Ventru, but as a leader of Clan Ventru.
All right. Then for personalized weapons, then Timothy has. Yeah, he has an 1800, 1700 style saber. And Alice is rolling with a straight up rapier.
Okay. What Lutrice will have will actually be, instead of being a French épée, will be a English broadsword with Latin emblazoned on the blade and crosses on both sides of the crossguard.
Okay.
It very much looks like the weapon of a Templar Knight, or not Templar Knight, but a Knight of the Church.
If Satoshi wants to turn up with his katana, I'm okay with that.
Well, these are as symbols of worth. His katana is not, so it technically wouldn't be allowed.
I didn't even think Satoshi would have gotten one of those things.
Not yet. You need to be.
Yeah.
You need to be at least 8 isle. That's about. If you're coming in still as baby Ventru, you'd be minimum iron, which is basically like a grunt foot soldier.
Okay. But once all the really, really big formalities and descriptions, at least out of character, out of the way, everyone will take a seat yet again. And Timothy will look to the group, the three other assembled Ventru, for finally kind of settling his eyes on Latrice, and he will say, "Sir, I must ask, how well appraised have you been of the state of the clan within the city?"
I was given a minor report from Anemone Becker when she left to become an Archon. Needless to say, it grieves me that the position of our clan is not as powerful as it should be. It was expected that you, as former seneschal, would be made prince upon her leaving. And I see that it's not the case, and that the Templar Gangrel has taken the position.
Hey,
Just out
Satoshi,
of-
roll me.
What?
Oh, I was telling Satoshi to roll perception empathy.
I mean,
Okay.
I can already smell like it from here. And he's probably mad as fuck.
By the way, if you roll peony on, I mean, you don't need to roll peony on Lutrice. He is being perfectly candid and is unaware that he is causing any type of pain.
I mean, this ain't pain. I wouldn't go so far as to call this pain.
Rage, whatever, you know. Oh, I forgot to mention, Lutrice is app 4 and his appearance spec is memorable pose.
Dang it, I forgot that we have roles, not Discord. Can someone shoot me the roles room, please?
Sure, give me a minute. I didn't even have rolls up. I didn't think it was going to be needed.
I mean, if we just want to narrow, you know what? It's not that hard to see. Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Dead-
figured as much.
Dead Sea, saltiest place in the earth, right next to his bitch ass. And he will nod. And still not quite breaking face, he will say, "But yes, it seems that you have indeed kept up with some of the local happenings."
What I find more distressing is the lack of clan in the city. I've tried to gain a few others who were willing to come back, but it appears they decided not to. Quite distressing.
It is. And there is one other matter that I wanted to bring up as well. He will look to Satoshi at this point, and he will ask, Mr. Hironori, first
Yeah.
I'd like to congratulate your point. Well, out of character, does Latrice know about the houses?
Yes, he does. It was explained to him.
Okay, awesome. So he's not breaking any rules because this. He will say, firstly, Mr. Hironori, I would like to congratulate you on your appointment to Speaker for the House of Staves.
He will incline his head slightly and say thank you.
While delighted I was that a member of our clan held such a prominent position, I was also surprised. I was not aware that you were being sought out for such a position, or that you yourself sought out such a position.
I will be truthful here. I suspect I was given the position so that the prince and the gangrel primogen would not have to, and thus would not be any targets if this position carried such.
Timothy will just nod with that. Look to Latrice. Look to Alice.
Latrice will simply nod his head.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think Satoshi knows that
Oh,
Liam said no
damn it.
primogen because, like, Satoshi doesn't know that, and I didn't know that out of character.
That was actually something that he told Raven. So
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, wait, what was that?
no primogen should hold the position.
Oh, yeah, no, like, he's totally going to take this the wrong way. It's beautiful.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like Satoshi doesn't know either, so
Yeah.
like he's not trying to make it sound bad or anything. He
Well-
literally does not know.
Well, the funny thing is that Liam didn't mention it because he specifically wanted you to feel like you were being honored with this position for previous service.
No, that is completely the wrong way. He's just like, you painted a motherfucking target on my back.
I know.
Just fine. Maybe didn't trust one guy. Anyway. He will. You know what? No. Al's gonna jump into this. She will say, "So, sir, Mr. Hironori, I am quite curious. I would like, if you would be so inclined, a bit of opinions, some personal views on the at the state of affairs within the city and how our newest prince has done lately."
Of course. See, because Kim is a little tired. Was that her asking him his opinions, or her asking if she could state her opinions?
She's asking both of them for their opinions.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Alice is asking Satoshi for his opinion.
On how the princes were running the city, right? And the
Yeah, how Prince ran the city and just kind of everything.
okay. My personal opinion is I believe that Prince Liam he isn't doing a bad job, though I do not enjoy this peace treaty we have with the Sabbat. Though when I mentioned the other day that they were shovel heading, and you can kind of see him actually cringe a little, and he'd say, when he jumped out of the window very unceremoniously to go and hunt down the Sabbat himself, I was a little curious as to why we did not just let it happen. If they are shovel heading, that means they are planning some sort of attack. And should we not hunt them down before they do such a thing?
Tim, it was Alice who said that he should stop them. So I think Alice did it more out of concern for the masquerade than anything else.
Okay, then I know how to phrase this.
Okay.
Alice will come forward and she will say, as to why we did not simply allow our prince to launch a war, there are a few considerations that must be made. One, despite the Sabbats, her jaw will clench just a little bit, will tighten, and she will say, "Bravado." We do not yet know the full extent of their capabilities. On top of that, while our prince is adjusting to modern knights, he is still adjusting to modern knights. And so, I would rather not have. I would rather not have myself, my brother, or the rest of our clan clean up after such an engagement that, to be completely honest, we would be at a disadvantage in. And so that is why I called Primogen Raven and told her to handle the situation.
He'll nod.
Oh, also, by the way, when Alice mentions Primogen Raven, more Salt Lake City coming from Timothy. Just, yeah. Like, you know that look. You don't actually have to make a face or shout. It's the way you kind of look away from a conversation, even for like a minute. Yeah.
It should be noted that Lutrice is watching all of this with a slight look of amusement on his face.
Still, I believe the Sabbat should be something dealt with sooner rather than later, which is why I was planning on visiting the warehouse where the said shovel heading was occurring and see what I could find out.
Timothy will pipe back in at this point, and he will say, while we may not be able to assist you directly, I believe myself and my sister are more than willing to provide indirect support. Any demonstration of initiative will look positively on us.
Indeed. And I would be grateful for any help that is possible.
They will both nod. Another question then. This is Timothy talking. He'll look to to Satoshi again. He will ask another question. What is, based on what you have seen, of course, your opinion on the lower clans within the city? Out of character, Satoshi would know that when he means the lower clans, he means literally all of the other clans.
You laugh, but that's really how they think.
I know. It's beautiful. And I love it. Oh my god, I love Venture so much. They are my favorite. Okay. Um shit, geez, what is his opinion on them? Damn.
Yeah. Um, he just means the. Actually, you know what? I'll say this in character to keep it in character. He'll add. Of course, I mean your opinion based on the individuals that you have seen, rather than a generalized view of the entire clan. I apologize. I should have been a bit more clear with that.
No need to apologize, Mr. Cutbirth, though it is rather curious. They don't seem all that bad, but they are certainly lacking in some spots. The Malkavian Primogen and his childishness is certainly questionable at times. Though I've only seen him when he is in a particularly childish state, so I am unsure how he acts the rest of the time. As for the gangrels, Prince Liam, as I have said before, and Primogen Raven both seem to be doing a decent job at running the city on Liam's part and helping out where need be on Raven's part. Another thing with the Malkavians is the newest one, Lane. He does not seem all of that bad, to be fair. And Miss Ramirez is, well, frankly, not what I was expecting from a Tremere. She is certainly not one to act like the stories always say of their clan.
She is not quite what I expected either.
Lutrice will speak up at this point. From my own experiences with my own fellow member of the Black Friars, Karamazov, you should never think that Tremere fit into one category. They will always try to surprise you.
Satoshi will nod and say, I am slowly starting to figure that out.
Lutrice will then speak up. What of the other ones? The Assamites, the Nosferatu, the Bruja.
I have not dealt with them much in this city, to be completely fair with you. Oh, see, does he know about the Assamite in the basement? I
No,
remember Adriana was speaking over the phone about it one time, and I don't know if he overheard the conversation or not.
you could have overheard the conversation, but you don't know exactly what the situation is with it. You do know for a fact that sometimes Primogen will go down there to check on it, and sometimes Alice will go down there to check on it. The only Primogen that has not gone down there to check on it is the Assamite Primogen.
There's an Assamite Primogen up in this piece?
Yeah.
Franz Schultz. He's the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Germanic Assamite.
Damn, I don't think Satoshi's ever met that dude.
He doesn't come to court often unless it's required of him.
Yeah.
That's legit. He'll just say, I haven't really met many of the other clans in that regard in this city, though, I do have to say it seems the Nosferatu are a little lax in watching over their members, considering it has been found out that a Nosferatu by the name of Blades has been a Sabbat member, masquerading as a Camarilla member
Hmm.
this entire time, and he was only found out when mages came across their warehouse.
Latrice is going to look over to Cuthbert, both of the Cuthberts, and say, I trust that you'll talk to the Seneschal about his wayward clanmate.
Timothy says it will be a discussion.
That being said, something even more odd is that the Alistair Blackthorn has been speaking to a mage, and it was him who figured out who this Nosferatu was after being told to come to the warehouse by a mage.
You're saying that Alistair Blackthorn knows about this Nosferatu?
From what I am led to believe.
Then you need not bother talking to Mask. I don't know why the Alistair has not chosen to bring it forth, but odds are good the Nosferatu in question is dead.
He'll nod.
What? Blackthorn's a Toreador, correct?
Indeed.
How is his clan's position within the city? From your own estimation of interactions with the Toreador.
Oh, so I think he only really talked to the Harpy and then Travis.
Yeah, I think that's it, but Travis hasn't come forward to be introduced yet, so
Exactly.
Yeah.
you do know that there is a Primogen though, but he's a bookworm. It doesn't really get out much.
He'll say, "The only." My bad.
Oh, nothing.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And he'll just say, as for the Toreador in this city, the only one I have really met, or at least spoken to once or twice, has been the Harpy Miss, what's her name?
Michelle LaBelle.
Miss LaBelle, who seems to be rather not on good terms with the prince, to put it politely.
Latrice is going to look over to Cuthbert, Timothy, and say, there's an opening.
Yes, there is.
That Satoshi will kind of arch an eyebrow.
Timothy will look to Satoshi. He will say, I suppose now is the time for me to elaborate a bit on why we are here right now. Timothy will stand up. He will look out at the city. I have been in the city for quite a long time, Mr. Irinori. I've seen much. I have accomplished much here. Aside from very notable outliers such as Father Latrice, Liam himself, and others, I am one of the oldest members of the Camarilla in this city. I watched that blonde Becca dismantle our clan's power base for no other reason but to serve her own agenda. And as such, when she left, it was only sensible that someone like me were to step up and do as duty commands in the Camarilla. Instead, well, what happened instead was a, albeit quite old, elder took over the city by a vote, and he is not even a member of the Camarilla, not fully.
Latrice is going to arch an eyebrow at that. You mean there was no praxis challenge?
Oh, there was. The Tremere and the Gangrel of all clans were the ones to make the push to have Liam take the praxis.
Interesting. I'm surprised the Tremere are still in the city, to be honest, with somebody like Liam as prince.
I am surprised as well. I have to sit here. We have to sit here and watch as a non-Camarilla member runs a Camarilla city along with a glorified parrot serving him.
Really want to hear the glorified parrot is.
I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry. I'm talking that shit.
Out of character, I really don't want to know. I really do kind of want to know who the glorified parrot is, but at the same time, I don't.
Raven. It's Raven.
Raven? Okay.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Mass for a moment there.
No, it's not Mask. It's not Mask. He doesn't have too much beef with Mask. But yeah, no, it's totally Raven.
Glorified parrot. Oh shit.
Alice is kind of sitting there. All right, to explain her face right now. Have you seen a mom watch her child have a temper tantrum and then they don't really do about it because they know that there's absolutely nothing this child can fucking do to actually harm anything or anyone?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. It's just that.
It's glorious.
And Timothy will look back to the rest of the group and he will say, for my part, esteemed members of Clan Ventrue, I am done watching a praxis that compromises and bends and reduces us to lower than beasts. We need to take our rightful place in the city back. Otherwise, we will not even live to serve it.
Lutrice is just going to look to Alice and look to Hironori for their reactions.
Satoshi is, he looks. He does look a little upset, and a little annoyed, but he will nod at Timothy.
Timothy will look to Satoshi. Is it quite obvious to see that he is upset?
I mean, it's not too bad, and if I need to, I'll roll like manipulation or subterfuge. But it's like, he's still maintaining face, but it's clear that he is very upset at the position of the venture in the city and at what has happened to Cutbirth and how the gangrel managed to get in control of the city.
I love how you're mixing up the two different parts of his name.
I am?
Yeah, it's Cuthbert, not Cutbirth.
Oh, it's a weird name.
It's all good. It's all good. Happens to everybody. I've just been assuming he's saying it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Satoshi's saying it right. It's Kim who's just.
Yeah, I wasn't really gonna get down on that.
My bad. I'll work on it, Brett. Sorry.
We'll say. Of course, we will need to work at this before we make any kind of real move. However, what I can promise each of you, with the notable and very obvious exception of yourself, Father Latrice, that should we do this, there will be... No, not should we do this. When we do this, there will be something in it for all of you to gain, personally. Of course, once I reestablish a proper praxis, there will be a need for someone else to take the mantle of Venture Primogen and Venture Wet. And when he says that, he's looking directly at Alice and Satoshi.
It's just watching everybody's expressions on this. Let me know if I need to do perk empathy.
Yeah, I've been kind of giving it to everyone because I didn't want to get bogged down in roles because I don't know how all it works quite yet.
I think at this point there would have been at least like 16 per empathy.
Yeah, there would be like 16. I'm just kind of telling people shit.
I don't mean, I'm guessing, like, considering they're all Venture, they're not really trying to hide it too badly, since it's, like, not really needed. No other clans around, so...
Yeah.
Well, basically, like, face is still a thing, but there's always, like, subtleties and all that.
Yeah.
No one is majorly breaking face. With the exception of maybe Timothy, but, like, he's, like, doing a thing. He's like, rallying the troops right now.
He's doing his, evil villain monologue at the moment.
A little bit.
Actually, there's something I need to do. Alice is going to get a knock knock on her head.
Alice will? Okay.
Yeah. And I'll send you this in text.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Boy, that doesn't sound good.
I know. Okay. Is he is he
He is not reaping any information. He is communicating.
okay? Okay. That's all I needed to know.
If I wanted to, though, I could. Just gonna say that.
um. Figure that's kind of in the direction of thinking. And to keep dead air from taking over in the scene, um, Timothy will look to the group and he'll continue on. He'll say, "It stands to mention that just one clan, however powerful and however deserving, cannot simply take over a city overnight. This will take time. This will take alliances, and this will take deals. It stands to mention that for the time being, this will not be discussed outside of meetings with exclusively our clanmates." Alice nods to that.
Lutrice will nod as well.
And Satoshi will nod. I will do what I am able to on my part, though it will mainly, at this point, be doing things like investigating the Sabbat in the warehouse and such, gaining influence when possible and making the plan look better and better.
There's already one clan that I believe you can work on to, if not sway their opinion one way or another, at least establish friendly ties.
And which clan would this be?
Clan Toreador. Michelle LaBelle is watched as the traditions, the very pillars that have upheld the Camarilla, are being disregarded. Now, I'll be completely honest, I do believe that there is a time and place for unorthodoxy. However, what are we without our core values?
I'll nod. That is completely reasonable.
So simply do your best to be as cordial, and if not cordial, be as friendly with the local roses as possible. That said, do not be their doormat.
As if I would allow myself to be such. There is a new one. He is going to be introduced to the prince later on this evening, hopefully. A new rose in the city. I will see what I can do about speaking to him and perhaps Miss oh see I forgot her name again. Oh my god.
LaBelle.
Michelle Bell.
Because
LaBelle?
Ari.
Okay, LaBelle. And Miss LaBelle.
The only rose I would suggest not approaching about this would be Blackthorn. As a Alistar, he is separate from the city's politics, as am I, in all technicality, as an Archon.
I'll nod. Say, I, to be completely fair, was not planning on speaking to Blackthorn much.
Very good.
He seems like a busy man.
Less busy now that this quarry is caught. However, like me, I don't think he can leave yet.
It's not until this barrier's broken, anyway.
Quite right.
And Timothy will then look to Alice. And Alice, who looks somewhat distracted, kind of snaps back to him. And he will say, we also have a particular advantage in you, the Keeper of Elysium. You can keep an eye on affairs there, see if you can dig up any information on some of the other clans. Even if there is something we can use against the Tremere and the Gangrel. Alice will nod.
Well, there is the fact that I have to get their elder out of hell again.
Timothy will look to Alice and he will say, and there we may have our angle.
Though it should be noted that she is in hell because of circumstances involving this city, and that as a Black Friar, it is my duty to retrieve her.
But of course, and your service is a very honored and appreciated one. And Timothy is being actually very genuine when he says that, because, you know, Timothy may be a dick, but he doesn't like demons.
Yeah. Everybody who doesn't like demons needs to get down on their knees and kiss the Blackfriars' freaking beanbags.
A little bit.
However, make sure that Adriana knows how grateful she needs to be for us retrieving her sire.
Yeah. Yes, I will. I will make sure to secure that.
So Latrice is basically just gonna keep watching people.
Yeah. If I'm remembering everything on my list, I think we have done everything that we need to do in this scene. Brett, do you have anything you want to do in this scene?
Nope, not at this juncture.
Okay. Kim, do you have anything you want to say during this meeting?
No. If I do, I can't remember it, so it must have not been too important.
All right. And so Timothy will say, after probably a little bit of small talk and actually like going over numbers and shit, Timothy will say, then I believe on this note, I'd like to call this boardroom meeting adjourned. Mr. Hiranori, thank you for coming. Father, it was an honor to have you.
Timothy, Latrice will nod. It is interesting to see your initiative, Timothy. And he will stand up, picking up his sword case and sliding it over his back.
Satoshi will nod his head and say, "Thank you for hosting this meeting."
Oh, by the way, Tim, after he sends that last message to Alice, he's going to break the connection.
Okay. All right.
At this point, Timothy will nod his head to everybody and say,
I think you mean Latrice.
oh, Latrice, blah. Sorry, brain. Been running different NPCs way too long. Latrice will nod his head to everybody and say, be safe in the dark night, and he will head to the elevator and leave.
All right. Is Satoshi going to go ahead and head out?
Yeah, like he'll say his goodbyes and everything, and head on out.
All right. As they both leave, it's just Alice and Timothy in the room at this point. Alice is just going to look over to Timothy once everyone's cleared out, and she'll just say, "You're so dramatic." Timothy will respond with, "I like to think of it more as inspiring." Alice will then shoot back with, "Call it what you will. You're taking a huge risk by doing this, and it's not just your head on the chopping block. You better know what you're doing." And Alice will go ahead and leave.
All right, and is Timothy going to do anything after Alice leaves?
No, he's just going to sit and look at the skyline.
All right, I will go ahead and close this out then. Go ahead and outro us, Tim.
All right. On that note, we are going to end this hopefully enjoyable Venture Boardroom meeting scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And fuck Clan Gangrel.
You play a Gangrel.